All right. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our third session for the day. The topic here is about Tableau with business objects, where we bring out the best of both worlds. So I'll quickly run over the agenda itself, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the BO coexistence with Tableau, like how could you have two BI tools in the same organizations, and what is the best way to have a coexistence model. And then we're going to talk about different ways to leverage business objects with Tableau. And I'm going to end that with a customer case study where an InfoSol customer, two of InfoSol customers, one is a fleet management company here in New Jersey, and then we have another healthcare customer based out of Phoenix, Arizona. They came to us in request for a solution, and what sort of a solution that we provided amongst the 5 ways that they have already tried to leverage BO with Tableau. And a little bit background about myself. I'm certified with business objects in Tableau, and I'm also a product manager for INFOBURST, our flagship product at InfoSol, where I work in the forefront with customers, bringing out their problem and how could we solve with the solution and on the product side itself. So I work with the development team here at the InfoBurst, at InfoSol as well. All right. So the business objects coexistence model, it's clear that companies that use business objects also use Tableau. It's given some companies use Power BI along with it, but majority of our customers that we did research with, we found that BO customers do use Tableau. If it's not the BI department, maybe there's another business unit that's been using Tableau, and how could we bring this coexistence model, and what are the challenges that they've been facing it? So in the challenge phase, what we found with BI administrators and the BI managers or the BI teams there is, how do we support the two BI solutions? What is the best way to have both solutions work hand in hand together? And what they had, or what problem they really faced, was there is limited or literally no integration between these tools, with business objects and Tableau being two separate BI vendors. There's no direct integration with these two tools. And the other problem that we heard from our customers was that Tableau developers are not even aware of business objects. In other words, they don't see anything within the Tableau desktop. There's no native connection to business objects. And some people are not well versed with web intelligence or universes. So they don't even go into this level of integration, and they start recreating stuff just to bring in a dashboard in Tableau with the same data sources. And this self-service discovery tools are usually brought into business without even consideration of the BI team. And that's a challenge as well. So once it's in the company or in the organization, how does the BI team support their existing BO data sources within Tableau? So these are some of the challenges that we heard from our customers. And this leads to poor or recreated workflows, and then comes the data governance problem that other companies face as well. So what I'm going to give you here today is different ways that you can connect business objects to Tableau. And I've listed 4 ways here, and the 5th one is our solution that InfoSol provided to our customers, where the first one is straightforward. You can export business objects data. If it's a web intelligence, you export the data and then you push it to Excel. And Tableau or Power BI, it reads Excel in a nice way, so you can have a dashboard built. And then you have exporting the SQL from Webby Query Panel, which can be imported into Tableau. A query can be run, and then you can visualize in the Tableau dashboard. And the third method here is to have a native connection to the database itself, meaning from Tableau, you can connect to SQL Server, Oracle, Snowflake. They have like more than 45 plus database connections, and then you can bring in that data into Tableau. And then the 4th one, which I'm going to show a demo to you as well, is to use ETL tools such as Ultrax or Tableau Prep, where you can replicate the universe design. So I'm going to show a quick, simple universe. How would you recreate that in Ultrax as a solution? And with each of the solutions comes some challenges as well. So if we delve into export to Excel, yes, it works great for POCs, where you can just quickly dump your Webby data into Excel, and then you can build a dazzling Tableau dashboard. But the maintenance involves a manual process. How do we schedule this Excel report? Where do we place this Excel report? And how does it get to the Tableau server? What if someone changes some data in the Excel file? And that brings an error-prone scenario here as well. So it's not a full-fledged manageable solution when we go the export to Excel route. And the other one works great for Webby developers, because they know how a web intelligence report is creating a SQL in the backend once you have a universe. So you can go into a Webby report, click on Edit SQL, and then get the SQL from Web Intelligence, plug it into Tableau from Tableau desktop, or even natively, you can push it to Tableau server as a data source, and then you can start visualizing that in a Tableau dashboard. But the problem here is, say there's a change in your universe, or the SQL changes based on the changes that you bring in the database, that needs to be manually updated in the Tableau. There's no native integration part here as well. And the third part, that's straightforward as well. It works great for, say, simple universes. If you want to recreate that universe logic, you read the underlying tables from your data foundation or the universe, and then you directly connect to your database tables from Tableau desktop. But it requires significant effort to analyze your universe artifacts. It's not easy to create the same sort of the universe logic or the joins that you create in Universe Designer in the native Tableau desktop tool. And then comes our fourth approach, where it's using an ETL tool such as Ultrax or Tableau Prep, where you can recreate the entire workflow into an Ultrax or a Tableau Prep workflow. And again, recreation is not easy. You won't get the exact benefits of using an information design tool, and it requires significant effort to analyze all the universe artifacts. And having tried all these four solutions, both of our customers came to us with these requirements. Okay, now we know that there are different ways that we can bring BO data to Tableau. We have tried all the ways that are out there in the market, which is what I've listed as the first four methods of connecting, but they had a different set of requirements to us where they said, we don't want to just replace business objects. In other words, we want to have a coexistence model where business objects and Tableau will be residing alongside in the same organization, and we want to have the BO data connecting to Tableau. And we don't want to recreate the universe logic because they've spent years and years building a great universe. There's a lot of tables, a lot of customizations. We don't want to analyze the universe logic and recreate within our ETL tools. And then comes the need for a native integration approach. We want something to be plugged directly into the Tableau server. And they came with another requirement saying that there are a lot of Tableau developers who are not business objects users, so they can't use this Webby report. They don't even know what a Webby report is. We don't want to have these users tapping into our BI systems for opening the SQL and Webby and connecting to it as well. And they wanted something simple. So these are our customer requirements. Now I'm going to show some of the other methods which can be beneficial for some of you who are trying to connect BO to Tableau. And I'll start with having our Webby to SQL. And as you are familiar, the Webby to SQL approach, let me log in. Okay, so the Webby to SQL approach is pretty straightforward. Where is that? BI. So here is a Webby report. You can go in, edit a Webby report, and then you can say, okay, I can go to this query panel over here. I select the view SQL. Then now I can copy the SQL. I can go into my Tableau desktop. I can plug in my SQL query and then connect to it. That is one way of doing it. So I can go to File, New, and then I can plug in my SQL by making a native database connection, right? And then the other method is you can create the same type of joins. Let's take a simple universe for an example. So here is a data foundation layer. So let's consider only three tables. Say there's a customer table, order table, and product. And this is how you would have like multiple tables in your data foundation. Let's say your universe is really simple with these three tables. Now to bring this into Tableau, you can connect to Microsoft SQL, and then you can bring in all three tables. And then by default, it does like an inner join as in when you drag in, and then you can get all the data and you can build a dashboard. But in reality, when you build a universe, what you do in a business layer is you add formulas, you change the names of the objects and everything. So to make the same changes, someone has to tap into this business layer, open up every single object and see what is being designed. And then you can go in and then within Tableau Designer part, you can come in and then you can rename the objects over here. This is one method that people do. Now I'm going to show another approach where you can use Ultrax to recreate the universe logic and then push data to Tableau server natively. So here is our Ultrax Designer. So let me start with a new workflow. That's what it's called in Ultrax. So the first step is to connect to my database and then pull in the three tables which are residing in my universe. So I bring in my input data, go here, go to data sources, quick connect, and I already have a connection here. So I'm connecting to the same database where my universe is based off. I click OK. Then here I get a visual query builder. And this is same as designing a data foundation layer where you can go in and then select the tables over here. So I go into my DB of tables, going to bring in my customer, orders, and product. Exactly the same way that I would design a universe. I drag and drop and I create joins. So here my product ID is joined to my product table. And then I want all the fields within my Ultrax workflow. And here it gives a warning for duplications. That's fine. I click OK. And you can see even the SQL editor creates the same sort of a SQL query that you would have in Web Intelligence. Now I click on OK. And now here is my input data. And if I want to create formulas, for example, here, the state field, which is customer.state, I have named it as customer state. And if it's my customer name, I have a formula that says last name plus comma, and then I append or I concatenate the first name to this. So if I want to create the same in Ultrax, what I'll do is I can create a formula section here. So I'll bring in my formula component. And then here I'll say, add a column called customer name. And now I refer back to my universe formula. It's customer last name plus comma, and then the first name. So I go here and I say last name plus same formula. And I'll do first name. Okay, got it. And then if I want to rename the objects, I can use like a select filter here. So I bring in my select filter. And here I notice that my customer ID is repeated twice. If I don't need the second time, I can uncheck the customer ID. And then I have a state field, but if I want to rename it as a customer state, I can rename this right here. And then this is where I would use all the formulas and everything. I'm going to keep it simple just for the demo purpose, but you can change the data types and everything similar to how you would do in the universe itself. Now, once this is ready, I want to publish this to Tableau server. So I go to my connector section here. I have a publish to Tableau server tool. I click here, and then I've predefined my Tableau server connection. I have everything ready, and then I click on connect. And now I have my connections ready, and I can run this, and I can push this directly to my Tableau server over here. Okay, I've already pushed one of the workflows. So here is like a financial sales Tableau workflow. So here I can push it to a network drive as well as to a Tableau server. And then here, my Tableau server section, you would notice that now Ultrax has recreated the universe workflow. And I can go here and start building a dashboard directly. Now, nothing wrong in this workflow. Ultrax is an amazing ETL tool, but recreating a universe with an ETL tool is not 100% possible. So it's not the same as leveraging an existing universe or a Webby report itself. So from here, I can start building my Tableau dashboard directly. So these are the different things that our customers have tried, and they came to us in request for like a different solution. Now, these customers who came to us are already INFOBURST customers. So they asked, okay, you guys have multiple formats that INFOBURST can push into from BusinessObjects. Why not Tableau? And that's where we came up with a Web Intelligence to a Tableau hyper workflow that's been within our product for about 3 years now. And we have a lot of customers who use Web Intelligence reports, and they push that Webby data provider or the data section itself to Tableau server. That was something that we already had. But our customers' requirement was that we don't want to have another overhead of using a Web Intelligence report. We don't even have Tableau users who know what a Web Intelligence report is. We don't want to give them access to our BI artifacts. Now, how could we leverage this universe directly? That's when we came up with this concept of connecting to the universe itself. So I'm going to show our current version of InfoBurst, which is due to release mid next week, and it's already out there in beta version for some customers. So here I'm going to show our current upcoming version of InfoBurst. So in InfoBurst, as you all know, we can create a burst, or some of you who are InfoBurst customers who know that we can create a burst where we can push webby data to a Tableau Hyper. What we are introducing new in our product today is a concept called as workflows. So here within a folder, when you go to click on new and select workflows, we have the predetermined workflows similar to, or in fact, much better than what Ultrax or Tableau Prep can offer in terms of integrating business objects data to Tableau. So here you can push your webby data to a Tableau Hyper, a database query to Tableau Hyper, and the universe to Tableau Hyper. So here I select my universe to Tableau Hyper, and here I have one of my business objects platforms that I've already configured within InfoBurst. I'm going to click on continue, and now I see the list of universes that I can access from that particular BO system. So here I'm selecting one of the universes that I have access to. I click on continue, and now the process is exactly same as creating a web intelligence report. So here I'm going to select my customer state, customer city. I have my customer. Now, if a Tableau user who's not aware of business objects is seeing this for the first time, he knows that similar to connecting to a SQL server, I can select the objects that I need. So here I select all the objects that I need. I have my product group, my product name. I don't need my rate, cost, or product ID. And then I'll select a few measures here as well. Average revenue per product, number of orders, number of shipments, revenue. And then if I have any query filters, because when you build a universe, you also create filters that can be used for web intelligence reports. So I go to my query filter section over here, and then I select, okay, if I already have a predetermined filter, I can just select this. For example, if I have a product group filter, which will be a prompt that opens up in a web intelligence report, I can just select which product group. I click on continue, and then here in my prompt section, here I have the universe prompt. I can click on the list of values. I'll select all my product group values over here, apply field value, continue. And now I have a section where I can select my Tableau server. So here I have my Tableau servers. You can have multiple Tableau servers or sites added to InfoBurst. I select my project. I give a name, universe to Tableau. This is the file name or the hyperfile name that InfoBurst is going to push it from executing the universe query. I click on continue, and I can add a schedule right here. I don't have to go and create a new schedule. If I need this every day, say like every n days, I can add it in a particular schedule, or I'll just say keep it once and then run it now, and then I click save and continue. I'm going to select run now. Now, running this workflow, we execute the query from the universe. It takes all the objects that I've selected, and it creates a hyperfile with InfoBurst, and it pushes the hyperfile natively into the Tableau server option. So we have the run query option, and then you'll get the Tableau upload section where the hyperfile is pushed natively to the Tableau server. Okay. Right. So now I go to my Tableau server, default. So here I have my UNX, or the one that I've already created. So from here, I can click on test UNX, and then I click on new workbook. Then now I have all my universe data that I've selected directly in the form of a hyperfile, and then I start building my Tableau dashboard directly. So there are multiple ways that you can connect business objects to Tableau, and one of the easiest way with a quick turnaround time on leveraging your existing BO data sources in Tableau is to use this universe connector. And similarly, you can push a webby report, you can push the data provider of a webby report, or a plain SQL query within InfoBurst. And InfoBurst, with all its scheduling capabilities, can be leveraged for having an event-based schedule or like an alerting schedule, and then you'll have this native integration feature to your Tableau server. Okay, now, do we have any questions before I go into the advantages of this?
No questions at this time. Someone had asked about the InfoBurst interface, and we confirmed that it is the new 64-bit.
Right, perfect. All right. So here we have satisfied not only a customer's requirement, we have given some of the benefits for our customers here as well, where we have a native integration approach, and our Tableau users who are not BusinessObjects users can now leverage InfoBurst and connect BusinessObjects to Tableau. And this was the previous InfoBurst that was deployed, and a lot of customers who currently use it, where you have a Webby report or a SQL or an Excel source. You can use InfoBurst to push it to Tableau server, and you can leverage features such as content grouping with an InfoBurst, where you can combine an output from a Webby report or a Crystal report and combine it with a Tableau dashboard output and send it directly. Now, additionally, now we are unveiling our Universe connector option, where we are going to use our universes natively within InfoBurst and push the Universe SQL query output as a hyperfile to Tableau server itself. All right. So the traditional approach that customers do without InfoBurst or other options is that you have to identify the universes that are being used in Web Intelligence report. So that's your first step on identifying your data sources. And then comes the problem of identifying the actual table names, because in the universe, you have this flexibility of changing the names which are more user-centric, right? Now you have to identify the actual table names and what sort of joins that are used in the universe. And then you connect directly to the database by pulling in all the tables. Either you use the ETL tool or you use the native approach within Tableau Desktop. And then you have to recreate all the joins that you have been creating in the universes, these tools such as Ultrax or Data Prep. And after that is done, you can build a dashboard, but you're not sure that the dashboard is right in terms of data. So then comes the validate and test portion with the Tableau dashboard. You have to analyze your BO reports, have your Tableau dashboard side by side, and you have to do this validation or testing, because it's completely two different data sources and two different BI tools. So this is the traditional approach that customers do without InfoBurst. Now, what our customers leverage here was that with InfoBurst tab, we directly connect to universes or Web Intelligence, and we start building Tableau dashboards. And there's no need to validate or test Tableau dashboards, because we know that the data sources are same, and the same BO data is being leveraged in Tableau directly. So there's no need for a complete validation. You have to test only for like design issues within Tableau dashboards, but in terms of data sources, there's no need for validating the Tableau dashboards data
Hey, Rajesh,
sources.
we actually have an InfoBurst question, and it is, can you create calculations like in Webby in that interface?
No. So if you want to create calculations, so this is, again, a customer-driven thing, where if you want to create calculations, you can use the Web Intelligence approach and you create a calculation in Webby. But if you want to leverage what's there in universes, people don't want to add more to the universe data itself. If you want to do it, you can do it in the Tableau side. But in that interface, we don't have any features where you can add calculations. And that's on purpose, or it's by design, because we want to make sure that the exact same universe data gets uploaded to Tableau dashboard. Right.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Right. So the benefits specific to BusinessObjects to Tableau is that you get this comprehensive view of your organization, meaning the data governance part is already taken care of, because it's the same data source that's residing on Tableau server and at the universe level. So you don't have to worry about the data governance part. And then it enables your self-service analytics with SAP BusinessObjects data. And that increases your productivity and ROI by using tools such as InfoBurst natively to it. And that's pretty much about the presentation itself, but I'm here to answer more questions, or I can go detailed with InfoBurst tab. But otherwise, the next steps, you can get a free 30-day trial with InfoBurst tab. And some of you who are already InfoBurst customers, we can give you that trial directly by enabling a key. And we have more information on our website where you can read about InfoBurst tab itself. So I'm about 5 minutes. I'm thinking I could answer any other questions, or if anything that's specific to the connectivity itself.
We do have, oh, sorry, Paul. I was going to say we do have one more question that came in, if we want to jump on that real quick, and then
go ahead.
toss it over. It is, when is the new InfoBurst interface going to be ready for testing?
It's in GR Wednesday next week.
Great, thank you.
It'll be released in GR. Yep.
So it's available right away. Wow. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, that was very good, Rajesh. Thank you so much. And yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of conversation going on in the chat as well. with regards to the idea of, well, is this, helping customers to replace web intelligence with Tableau? And I just want to point out, and I'm sure you will agree, that nothing could be further from the truth. It's about leveraging business objects with Tableau. And in fact, the business objects customers that use Tableau, as you pointed out at the beginning of your presentation, are very much holding on to business objects and have no intention of replacing it. And by tying the two together with an integration like this, it will, give even more longevity to business objects within those customer deployments. I mean, would you agree with that?
Exactly, perfectly. I mean, the same issue that I face. I mean, the customers came with this saying that, okay, we don't want to recreate anything, and what's the easy way to get access to business objects data? And that's the reason we have built this concept called as workflows, where we don't want you to struggle with the concept of creating a burst, adding to a schedule, and going through a lot of clicks. We want to have the same approach that all the ETL tools are offering, but in a much better way with scheduling and adding event-driven mechanisms to this. So that's the reason we have built this concept of workflows. And that way you can have this coexistence model, and you will have your BO reports, keep it for reporting, and then have your dashboarding in Tableau by leveraging the same data sources. So the whole solution here is completely customer driven, and we have like 3 customers who are already using it in the beta phase, and then now we are releasing it for all our other InfoBurst tab customers.